Hello and welcome back to the Manga Lair. Love is War is one of my favorite romantic comedy series. With the manga having been completed for a while now, and no new anime adaptations being announced recently, I thought it would be a good time to see just how much is left before the series would be fully adapted. As I've done with these videos in the past, first off we'll start by going through all the prior seasons and figuring out which pieces have already been adapted. So let's start out with Season 1, which covered an average of 3.08 chapters per episode, and covered the chapters Volume 1, Battle 1, I Want to Be Invited to the Movies, through Volume 5, Battle 46, Kaguya Doesn't Want to Avoid. Next up, Season 2, with its average of 3.5 chapters per episode, Volume 5, Battle 48, The Student Council Isn't Alpha, all the way to Volume 10, Battle 101, The Student Council is going to get that group photo. Next up, Season 3 with an average of 3.15 chapters per episode, starting off with Volume 11, Battle 102, Kaguya Doesn't Realize, all the way to Volume 14, Chapter 138, Kaguya Wants to Explain. And finally, the three things that were not really full seasons, starting off with The First Kiss That Never Ends. Those 4 episodes covered an average of 4 chapters per episode, going all the way from Volume 14, Battle 138, Kaguya Wants to Explain, all the way to Volume 16, Battle 160, Kaguya is... Part 2. We then have the OVA and the PV, each averaging 1 chapter per episode, covering Volume 10, Battle 96, Kaguya Wants to Eat for the OVA, and Volume 11, Battle 110, Yu Ichigami Wants to Talk in the PV. Now, some of you may have noticed that some of these chapters don't 100% make sense. That's because not every single chapter between Chapter 1 and Chapter 160 have been adapted. In total, 25 of those chapters were not adapted. Those being Chapters 2 through 4, Chapter 10, Chapters 13, 15, and 22, Chapter 32, 47, and 49, Chapters 50 and 52, Chapters 55 through 57, Chapters 92, 112, and 152 through 158. So with all of that said, we can finally get on to the math. Excluding all chapters that have not been covered, 135 chapters have been covered to date. This is of a total of 281 chapters, which means 146 chapters are left to be adapted. Averaging up all of the seasons, we get an average of 2.9 chapters per episode. That would mean that we could have roughly 49 and a half more episodes of Love is War, which would translate well to 4 full seasons. That means at this current point, the series is only halfway over, leaving a lot more to be expected to be adapted.